Hey folks, it's Dave back with another video today. Today we are playing some basketball. Yeah, Sweet 16 playoff basketball by Roberto Chiavini. Really enjoying his games very much. Today I'm playing the 83-84 season, or more specifically the Boston Celtics and the Philadelphia 76ers. And again, this is a really quick play game, real easy to play, so let's go. So first things first, we're going to look at the teams and their ratings. Okay, each team has an offensive rating, a defensive rating, a rank, and that determines the D3 die, which I'll talk about in a minute, and the winning instinct number. This is for overtime, so as you can see, nobody has the advantage in overtime. So if you do get to overtime, you just do a quick roll of the dice, and the team with the highest number would win. You would add the winning instinct, but in this case, there is no adding to be done, so it would be a straight die roll for overtime. And whatever you roll on the dice, on the 10-sided dice, that would be what they scored in overtime. Okay, now to get our modified offense, what we need to do is do the cross again. The offense of the Celtics to the defense of the 76ers. Okay, so in this case, the Celtics are going backwards, and that's all included here on the table as well. So you go from PP to OO to NN. So there's two spots. You divide that by divide that by two, and it's only one spot, so it's actually right in the middle, so OO. So PP, OO, NN, you land in the middle. The 76ers, they have LL, and the Celtics defense is MN, and they're right next to each other. So LL to MM, there's no change, so you would actually stay with the LL. So that's how we get our modified range. It's real simple. Just look at the chart, divide in half, and round down. And there you go, or round up if you're going the other way. So we got OO and LL, so we're ready to roll on the chart. So I get two six-sided dice. We're going to go first half, and it's going to be Celtics first. Here we go, the Celtics. So they roll a 8 basically. I add them together. So an 8 in column OO. 8 in column OO is 56 points for the Celtics. So the Celtics have 56 points in the first half. 76ers rolling off of column LL. Let's take a look at what they roll. A 5. Column LL, a 5, that is 50 points. So at the half, Celtics lead 76ers 56-50. And incidentally, after you're done playing, there's individual stats you can figure out as well. Much like that Kill the Power Play hockey game. You can go back in and roll the dice and figure out, and it gives you over here on the season, it gives you the team rosters and numbers and percentages to figure out scoring. So you can actually do all the stats on here as well if you'd like to. Right now I'm just doing final scores, so let's continue. Second half. So Celtics still rolling off of column OO. We're going to roll a 4, and a 4 on column OO. Higher numbers are better. That's only 52 points. So the Celtics now, come on over here, 52. So the Celtics end up with 108 points. Now, 76ers, they need a big half here. They need a big roll on column LL, and 5 is not going to do it. 5 is going to give them 50 points again. So they will end up with 100 points. So the final score in Philadelphia is the Boston Celtics 108 and the Philadelphia 76ers 100. So that's the basic game. Now, if you added the third die, which is the rank right here, so you'd roll the dice to figure out if that would come into play. So you figure it out for each team. Let's say it did, so you roll again. So an 8. 8 is shift your results 2 column to the right. So if the Celtics were OO, they would bump up to QQ. And then, in theory, that gives you higher numbers for your half total. So, again, you roll the dice. Let's say Philadelphia had it. They had a 9. Shift the results 3 columns to the right. If you rolled a 1, however, you'd shift your opponent 5 columns to the left, which would mean be going down, which would mean less points. So that's how the third die would take into effect if you wanted to roll that. I, however, have modified this just a tad. Just a tad. Let me show you what I'm doing here. So, you're supposed to roll by half. What I decided to do is roll by quarter, and I factored in a home court advantage here. Okay, this is just my little mod that I made this morning, playing around with this, and it come out kind of good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do everything the same, but when I roll for the first half, that's going to be first quarter. I'm going to cut that in half, and if it's an odd number, I'm going to round down for the visiting team and round up for the home team for the home court advantage. So follow along. So Celtics, first quarter, off of column OO. We're going to roll the dice, and that's an 8. So an 8 on column OO is 56 points. So that's an even number, so I'm just going to cut that in half. So that's going to be 28 points for the Celtics in the first quarter. If you follow that, let me do this for the 76ers. So column LL, I roll a 9. Column LL for 9 is 54. So that will be 27. If my math is correct, 54 divided by 2 is 27. So at the end of the first quarter now, 28-27 Celtics. So I'm going to do the second quarter. The second quarter, I roll a 9 in column OO and a 9. Okay, so here we go. It's 57. Okay, so I'm going to round down to 56. Okay, because the Celtics are away. So the 57 goes to 56, and that is going to be 28. So instead of 28.5, it rounds down to 28. So now I roll second quarter 76 is a 12. Now, if you roll a 2 or a 12, you roll again one dice to see how many columns you move to the left or the right. Okay, so, and you can only move in one direction. So if I were to roll a 2, I couldn't go back. So I'm going to roll. I'm going to look at the first die, 4. So now, for this quarter, instead of LL, I go 1, 2, 3. So I'm rolling off of PP. So column PP right now, because I moved it 4 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4. PP. And that's a 4. So that's a 53. Now, they're home, so I round up to 54, and that will give them 27. So now I do the same in the third quarter. So if you roll a 2, so if I were to roll 1, 1 for a 2, you would actually roll again one dice and go backwards in the column. How many columns in that dice? If you roll a 12, you roll a single dice and you go to the right. So going to the right and going up, N, O, O, P, P, Q, Q, the higher you go, the more points you can potentially score. So the 2 and the 12 are wild cards for one roll only. So now let's roll third quarter Celtics. And we roll a 9 in column OO. A 9 is 57. We round it down to 56, and that gives us another 28. So now they have 84 points. Roll for the Sixers now. Column LL, they go back to LL because that bonus was just for 1. LL, 8 is 53. We round up to 54, and that gives them 27. So they still trail by 3 points going into the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter now. Let's do the roll for the Celtics on OO. A 4. That's not very good. A 4 is 52, so that's a straight up divide by 2 for 26. So the Celtics finished with 110 in this game. And now let's roll sixes. I need a big one here. Ooh, 6 on column LL. So it's 51. We round it up to 52, and that's 26 as well. And the final score is Celtics take this one 110-107. So that's a little bit how to play Sweet 16 playoff basketball. And then with my own homebrew here, I kind of like this. I like this homebrew here. It gives you 4 rolls for each team, and it gives just a smidgen of a home court advantage, which I do like when I play the quick play games. I like to have some sort of home court advantage. So anyway, that's a quick look at Sweet 16 playoff basketball. Remember, you can add the third die table if you'd like using this rank right here, and that'll affect which column you roll from. And also there's individual stats that you can put in after the game by rolling some dice as well. So I'm Dave. I hope you liked this video. Have a good day, and bye-bye.